Today I fucked up my kidneys by drinking a can of diet soda and taking extra strength ibuprofen, Advil, every day for 2 years. I have rheumatoid arthritis. As a result, I have joint pain. Before my diagnosis, I was switching between Tylenol and Advil for my pain. I took the generic versions of these, Tylenol equals acetaminophen, Advil equals ibuprofen, every day. After my diagnosis, my rheumatologist suggested that I avoid Tylenol like the plague because it affects the liver and my prescriptions will also affect the liver. So I took ibuprofen full time, about 400 milligrams a pill, 4 or 5 times a day for the past 2 years. Man, when they say that ibuprofen messes up your kidneys, they mean it. Last week, my legs were swollen and I couldn't walk at all. My mom called the local medical center after repeated calls to my rheumatologist sent her to voicemail, and the on-call doctor told us that ibuprofen is not, I repeat, not a good drug to take long term. It turns out that taking ibuprofen and drinking diet soda for a long time scarred my kidneys and made them dump out the fluids into my legs. I've since switched to aspirin and I've been prescribed a diuretic to get the water out of my body. Too long didn't read, I drank a can of diet soda and took ibuprofen for my pain every day for the past 2 years, resulting in messed up kidneys and swelling in my legs. Crazy, I was prescribed a pretty strong ibuprofen for my chest pains and stomach pains. They know it's bad for your stomach and asthma, both of which are problematic for me, but they won't put me on anything else. The stomach problem is easy, just take the pill with food, which is what I've been doing for the past 2 years. I'd be looking at alternatives to Advil as something tells me it's not a big improvement from ibuprofen. Ever tried CBD oil? Might be worth a shot. The soda had at least the same effect as the painkiller in ruining your kidneys. Take this from someone with a 12-year kidney problem. Not to be negative and all, but once something happens to your kidneys, it's very difficult to get them back to initial health again. Just drink lots of water every day. You cannot be serious. He was taking up to 2 grams of ibuprofen a day. The evidence for kidney toxicity is much stronger for ibuprofen than for any kind of soda. The sad thing here is that a doctor gave terrible advice that ruined this guy's kidneys. If you could do with Tylenol, I'd take that any day at recommended dosages over ibuprofen at any dose, although it may not be as effective for arthritis pain. NSAIDs like aspirin and ibuprofen will make your kidneys retain salt and, thus, water. Hey, I have RA in my family and I have joint pain as well. Taking large amounts of fish oil works as a natural anti-inflammatory and doesn't have any of the nasty side effects of long-term use of pain relievers. I used to take OTC pain relievers daily and I was able to stop completely by switching over the fish oil. But you have to be aware that it takes around 8 to 10 grams of fish oil to achieve this. One of my doctors recommended this. Today I fucked up by not taking a shower with my wife. This happened Wednesday, but I'm still feeling the effects today. On Wednesday, my wife took a shower around lunchtime and asked if I wanted to join her. I declined, since I was planning on showering after my workout that evening. After lunch, I go back to my desk in the basement to work. While I'm in a meeting with my boss, I hear a strange hissing noise coming from behind me. I turn around to see water spraying from the top of the water heater. Tell my boss I'll have to get back to her as I go into panic mode, shutting off the water and cleaning up the mess. My wife's shower was the last straw for our 18-year-old water heater. Yesterday a plumber came to take a look, and says yup, it's going to have to be replaced. We'll send someone out tomorrow with a new unit. The last time I took a shower was Monday morning. I smell bad, and we have no hot water. In fact, we have no running water at all. Hopefully I can take a shower tonight. Too long didn't read, didn't shower with my wife on Wednesday, and now it's been 5 days since I showered. It stinks. Here's an army tip: baby wipes can do a little to ease the gross. It's not perfect, but it does feel better than nothing, man. Don't use disinfectant lemon flavored kitchen wipes as a replacement, it doesn't go well for the meat and veg. This is not at all how I thought this story would go. Go to a truck stop gas station, you can shower there for free. Pandemic me says, thanks but no thanks. Frankly, I would say you were lucky that kept you from flooding your house. Also M8, when the wife wants you to take a shower with her, go. Shower sex is hot, lol. Have you ever tried it? It's not like what they make it out to be in the movies. I haven't found it to be much fun at all, haha. If you hopped in there with her, you wouldn't have been nearby to hear the issue and fix it right away. That would have led to a lot more water in the house. No, the real fuck up is not replacing the hot water heater before the corrosion got bad enough to fail in spectacular fashion. True on both accounts. Today I fucked up letting my children watch Avatar, The Last Airbender. Obviously this was a few months back when they added it to Netflix. A friend recommended the show and said my oldest daughter, who is 8, might like it. In the evening I keep an eye on the 8-year-old and 4-year-old while wife showers. Usually this is the time the kids and I play video games or watch shows together. I thought perfect brand new show. I put on Avatar. My oldest loved it, immediately sucked in by the story. She had many questions. Thought I have never discussed reincarnation really, and she wanted to know what they meant by past lives. I explained some people believe when you die you are born again. You get a new family and body. You look different on the outside but you have the same soul or person on inside. Some people even believe they can remember past lives. Guy named the Dalai Lama is supposed to be reincarnated every time he dies. I showed a picture of Dalai Lama for some cultural literacy. I tried to keep it simple. I mean, she is 8. Now keep in mind the 4-year-old is hanging out watching the show and playing with toys etc. while we watch and I discuss this. Wife gets out of shower, we get kids organized for bed. We are getting 4-year-old in bed. All of the suddenly she bursts into tears, grabbing a hold of my wife in a massive hug, telling her mom, I don't want to die and be born into a different family. I want to stay here with you mommy. Wife has no idea where this is coming from. The 4-year keeps crying, extremely upset. Wife looks at me wondering where this came from, and I am certain my face said it is all my fault. We calmed the little one down finally. I had to explain to my wife what I had done. I had no idea the 4-year-old was even paying attention to the conversation or the show. I mean, 4-year-olds aren't no for the lie attention span, let alone understood enough of the conversation to get it. My wife told me maybe I should be more selective of what shows we watch together at night. I explained to the 8-year we might have to watch that show without the 4-year-old. I am mentally preparing myself for the therapy bills I have caused with this trauma later in her life. TLDR, I let kids watch Avatar and caused a 4-year-old to have a spiritual and emotion crisis. Lesson is watch what you say around even the littlest kids. Edit, fixed Mr. Lama's name as it was pointed out I spelled it wrong. Years ago at a destination wedding I caught my 6-year-old nephew climbing up a library shelf. I run over, pick him up and say, careful there buddy, don't want you to hit your head and die. He asks me what die means and I explain that it's when you go away and never come back. He of course burst into tears and ran for his mom, yelling / sobbing, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Explained myself to my sil afterwards, but I'll never forget the death glare she gave me while comforting her son. I also think twice now before answering questions from kids. Not your fault. How can a 6-year-old not knew about death? Like, where does food come from? Dead things, or things we don't kill because we're vegetarian SMH. My policy for things like that is to answer as honestly and simply as possible, and to let them know that we're always here to answer more questions or talk to them about things they don't understand. I mean, they're going to learn all of this stuff anyway. It's more important that they have a relationship with you that's caring and honest, and that you can reassure them when they feel scared or don't really understand the topic. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I mean, we are talking about a daytime Nickelodeon show. Being more selective means, I'd PBS with the sound muted. When I was about 9 I learned about death through the story of All Dogs Go to Heaven. It's traumatizing no matter what age, but as long as you can explain it well and make sure they're not worried, that seems to have worked well for me. We were planning to put you in another family anyways, chill.